Hello everyone, this is our demo 3. In the last session, we ended at role-based redirection. Now we made updates such that after a user logs into our system, we make sure they land on the right dashboard depending on whether they're a student, an admin, or faculty. This is how it works. Once a user logs in through our secure login system powered by AWS Cognito, we immediately check their role. We set up our backend to fetch this role information from Cognito where it's stored as custom user role attribute. Depending on whether it says student, admin, or faculty, our system, through a Lambda function we worked on, includes this role information in the response back to the user. Then the front end part of our application takes over, reading this role from the response and directing the user to the respective dashboard. This process ensures that everyone exactly gets exactly where they need to be.
So, working on top of what Kaushik has worked on, after we log in, and I've worked on the admin page. So, Ram, if you can log in as the admin. So, since Ram has logged in with admin credentials, he's been redirected to the admin dashboard. And here, the admin will be able to create groups and name the classes, name the faculty, and he has a few settings on the left hand side as well. So I worked on the front end for this. And Shashir has worked on the back end for this. He wrote the Lambda functions. Shashir, if you can share about it.
Yeah, so once the admin clicks on a create group button, he gets a pop-up saying add new class, and here we can add the class name and the name of the faculty. You can add anything. Yeah. Just follow the naming convention. And when you click on add class, it says it has been successfully added. And now if you go to the backend Lambda function for this, uh, can you go to the top? Yeah, here we have some import functions, Boto3, UUID, OS, and date time. And as you come down, we have a DynamoDB table setup, which uses Boto3 and creates a connection to the DynamoDB. And okay, yeah, can you go a little up? Yeah, so here we are declaring a post method, and here we are trying to handle if there is any error in it. Let's say if there's a missing class name or a faculty name from the UI, we give a status code 400 as saying there's an error. And if you see the class item, this thing, we have class ID, name, faculty, and member 0 is the default number, but we will have to work on that later, like number of members to be added. And last active will take the date and time of when the group was created. And in the below, we say table.put item, which saves into the DynamoDB. Now, if you go to the DynamoDB table, you can see the class that we just created. As you can see here, you can see Dr. Rao and the time for it as well. Yeah, that would be now on to Gautam for the next steps.
Yeah, can you just log out and just log in as the faculty member? Yeah. Yeah, so now as you see that we have logged in as a faculty and the functionality has been working pretty good because we have landed on the faculty part and previously we have landed on the admin part. And if you see at look at the layout, looks a bit similar to the previous one, the admin page, and also if you observe, there is we cannot see the class that was created previously here in the current assignments or previous assignments because we haven't worked on that functionality yet. But coming to what is already present here, the faculty member would be able to create a check-in request. If we can hover onto that button, we can see if there are whether if there were any uh, presets, like, or any, if you want to create a custom check-in request for the students to respond to, and we'll be working on that in the future sprints. Next, we have the current assignment, which shows the student details wherever they are at. And if we remember from the previous sprint that the student would be able to pick up the location where they are and also add the comments of where exactly they are. All of those details will appear here under current assignments, just next to the student name. And at the same time, once a particular class has been disabled, it will just come down to previous assignments. And that is how the faculty dashboard looks like. And we are also planning on adding one more button in the same line as the create check-in, which will enable the faculty member to send messages or any particular request to a particular student. So that is how it is for faculty dashboard for now. Next, Vaishnavi will talk about the next part.
So Ram, can you share the profile page? So as you can see the options in the menu, so I created mockups for each option. And with the help of these mockups, I created a version of a profile page. So this profile page is basically where we can edit the informations. And we also have messages and requests for now, but we are not sure about to have them here. So probably once we decide about it, we'll modify it further. And Ram will take over now.
Yeah, so I worked on session management in this sprint. I do not have a UI to show session management, but I can quickly log into a random user and then show how we're getting tokens and how we're using it to refresh the tokens and manage our session. So right now I'm just logging in as a student user. I'm clicking remember me. What this does is it keeps refreshing the tokens periodically. In our Cognito, we are setting the limit as 1 hour. So each hour a new token will come. So after logging in, if I go to my console and application, you can see these are the tokens. I have access token, ID token, refresh token, and token expiry times, which are first fetched from Cognito. And then at the code, I log in as a faculty. So yeah, but regardless, tokens are the same. And at the code level, what happens is upon login, yeah, after logging in, I'm setting some data to my session in the browser, in the local storage. And then the session.js takes over from there. Session.js is a file that we are using for centralized session management. Here we have some set and get functions. So upon login, you get ID token, access token, refresh token, and data role also, which we're setting from front end. And this centralized session file is imported by different JavaScript files depending on which user is using it. If it's an admin user, we still need to do the session management. So we are importing it here. And likewise, we are importing it for all three kinds of users. And then after setting the session, what it does in session.js is it keeps monitoring for the session expiry over here in a function called init session checker. It keeps checking every minute, and just a minute before expiry, it calls refresh tokens function. And in refresh tokens function, it calls the refresh API. which in turn triggers the Lambda function that is there to fetch new tokens. So yeah, in the Lambda function, what we have is this refresh token flow from Cognito. It again uses Cognito initiate auth method, which is the same method used in login functions as well. And it fetches a new refresh token. And secret hash calculation and passing these authentication parameters are same as login function. And after fetching the refresh token, what happens is it just resets over here. Right now we can't show it because it's set for 1 hour, but when we tested, we simulated it for 3 minutes, and then we could see the refresh tokens changing every 3 minutes. Yeah, so that's about session management. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
this
this
is it for this demo, and we'll see you in the next demo. Thank you.